Today, the USA is the richest and most powerful country in the world. But just over 330 years ago, it wasn't a country at all. The land we now call the United States of America was divided into three main parts. 13 British colonies in the east, an area called the Indian Reserve in the centre, and the Spanish territories in the west. It wasn't until 1776 that representatives from the 13 colonies, unhappy with British rule, declared independence from Britain and created the United States of America. Today, many of these founding fathers, the men responsible for building the country, are famous throughout the world. In every school in the USA, students learn about the lives of men like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and George Washington, and are made aware of what they did to build the USA. George Washington was the commander of the American Army during the War of Independence and became the country's first president. At the time, the country didn't have a permanent capital, and the United States government could have chosen one of a few existing cities, such as Philadelphia, Princeton, or New York. But this new country wanted a new capital, so in 1791, work began on a brand new city, Washington, D.C. This area must have looked very different at the time. There were no major settlements here and few farms. But it quickly grew to become the home of American politics. One of the first buildings here was the President's House. The second President of the United States, John Adams, first lived here in 1800, but it was a very different building then. In 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt, unsatisfied with the size of the building, expanded it. He also officially named it the White House, a name people had informally used for almost a century. Today, this iconic building, with its 6 levels, 132 rooms, and 35 bathrooms, is recognizable all over the world. At the same time as the President's House was being built, construction began on the Capitol building. The United States Congress had first met in 1774, and after the War of Independence, it became an important part of the new independent government, creating the country's laws. At first, it met in various cities, such as Philadelphia and New York, but in 1800, it moved to its permanent home in the Capitol building. Since then, Congress has continued to grow and is now the political centre of the country. In 1860, Washington, D.C. welcomed its 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln was president during the Civil War, and in 1865, he was successful in making slavery illegal. He has since become a national hero, and this memorial, opened in 1920, is one of the country's most famous landmarks. Lots of people still come here today, and it is a popular location for political speeches and peaceful protests. In fact, it was here, between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, that crowds gathered to hear Martin Luther King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech. From George Washington to Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, this city has always been an important part of American life. Today, a trip here is a must for anyone curious about the story of the USA. After all, a walk around Washington, D.C. is a journey through American history itself.